Hey, I'm Raul Madera, and I'm your child's engineering teacher. So, first, I want to address the elephant in the room. Um, with COVID, this, of course, has been a very difficult course to run. This class has historically been very project driven, very hands on, team driven. But me and Nate Keene, who's the other teacher that does this course, we've worked really hard to try and make this course be the same class in spirit and have students leave with a lot of the same key takeaways. But before I get into those details, let me introduce myself a little bit. So right on my home page, right on the front page, when you click on my name, you get a little bio, and I'll kind of just run through it. But essentially here, um, I'm from New York originally, and I sometimes like to boast and brag about that. And specifically in New York, while I did grow up, while I was born in Washington Heights, which is in the Upper West Side of New York, I did most of my schooling in a suburb outside of New York, but I still carry a lot of my Dominican roots with me over there into the burbs. I speak fluent Spanish. I speak Spanish at home. And very often you'll see me eating a lot of Dominican dishes for dinner. I like to bring that into my daily. But in terms of how a New Yorker ended up being in Massachusetts, and that was through my undergrad. For undergrad, I went to MIT, hence the engineering, and there I studied material science and engineering. I did a couple internships, one with the Institute of Soldier Nanotechnologies, where I worked on biomedical devices for soldier application. I actually worked on this really cool device where the idea was to store lyophilized drugs, which essentially are just drugs that need to be administered in fluid, but ultimately need to be stored in powder form. So essentially, it was a device that would keep it in powder, keep the liquid in a different compartment, and then you would activate it, and then it would mix it so that a soldier could use it on site for any sort of drug application. Very cool. And then I also worked for Johns Manville, an insulation company out in Colorado, where I worked in their metallurgy department. So I was working a lot with troubleshooting, failure analysis, and some of their R&D side stuff when it came to their parts. Both opportunities were amazing. I learned a lot, but ultimately I learned that it wasn't really for me. And what I really wanted to do was teach. Teaching I love. I love talking about science. I love thinking about science. I love getting other people excited about science. This has been something that I've loved, and I've been here at Westwood now for 5 years. And I just recently started my graduate studies at UMass Lowell to get a master's in education. So this is definitely something I'm in it for. I'm in it for the long haul for. Um, but your child very very well might have also had me in some other sort of capacity. I taught physical science a couple years ago, so it's very possible that your child had me as a freshman teacher. I also coach track and field. I am the advisor to many clubs, such as robotics, the anime club, the Dungeons and Dragons club. So it's very possible that your kids have seen me in other places. I'm kind of all around the building sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I'm everywhere. But coming back to this class. So this class obviously is a little bit of a logistical nightmare when it comes to trying to make it go. So I figured the best way to show you guys how we've been trying to make this course be what it is through some of the examples that your actual children have made. So the goal of this class is to be kind of a survey engineering course. It's a class designed to get people that are possibly interested in engineering to maybe see what it's about, to get people that are into engineering for sure, but don't really know what discipline yet, to kind of slowly start to learn what the different disciplines do, so that they can start making their own decisions about what they want to go on to do and study in college. And honestly, this course is also good for people that don't even want to do engineering, just the people that want to think creatively, take on challenges, and just engage in new material that is, in my opinion, really, really fun. So the course over the year covers different disciplines such as mechanical drawing, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, a little bit of programming, some robotics. We cover civil engineering, materials engineering, and a little bit of design engineering. And we try and weave that all into the course. So I think just to kind of show you guys what we're doing, we'll give you a sense of what those things actually mean. So first off, we started the year off with a lot of what's called mechanical drawings. So here, someone in the class drew this, a realistic kind of picture of something that was an object that was assigned to them. We had, different views here. So these are orthographic views. So students were able to learn how to draw regardless of their artistic ability in order to draw these realistic mechanical drawings, as we put it. These were meant to be building blocks to get us to the point where the students are now, where they're doing computer aided design. So these were all projects made by some of your children. So this one was made by Cami. Here's a door that, she had to render and create herself. She even made the door handle, the little key spot there, the lock. So that was done by Cami. This one was done by John. So he kind of made a little car here. And then this last one I think was made by Andrew. He kind of made like a bar stool here. And this is something that if someone were to pursue mechanical engineering would become like a norm in their profession. Very often, CADing is just like the bread and butter. So this is just an opportunity and experience for your children to kind of see that firsthand. Also, so we've done mechanical engineering. We've also kind of concurrently been doing electrical engineering. Let me bring this in here. And this has been in particularly a challenge for some of our remote students. Just because electrical engineering, we're working with the circuit boards, moving the wires, doing the programming, but we've been trying to manage out. So here's actually Kelvin's folder here, where he's a fully remote student. And you can see here that he has his own board at home, and he sends me videos of his different challenges. Here he had to make the lights flash back and forth when he presses the button. Here it had to turn on when he turned off when he pressed it. So I'll give them all sorts of challenges, and then they'll record them and do them, and we're all trying to navigate and make the best of it. But I think that all said and done is that even with this remote format, we're making the best of it, and learning is happening. People are experiencing engineering, seeing it, and playing with it firsthand. So as parents, what you guys can do to help make sure that your children are successful in this class, it really comes down to transparency and communication. This is an elective course. I don't want this to be the most stressful class that a student takes. I want it to be fun. I want it to be experiential. But I do, I have to set the bar somewhere. And I really want active effort. I understand that people come into the class with different levels of understanding, but I want people to put something into the course. So you can always follow along with the grading in this course through my Canvas site. So the easiest way to get onto this is just by using your child's login info. If you're in here, you can see what things they're missing, what things have been graded, and any upcoming assignments. If anything looks funky, if a problem comes up, then what needs to happen is that we need to have a discourse. We need to have a conversation. Send me an email. I'm pretty responsive. And this year in particularly, I completely understand that we're all coming from different places, and I'm definitely willing to be flexible. But I can't really know what's going on unless a conversation is started. So as parents, what I ask you guys is just to make sure that your children are talking to me and just keeping me up to date when things get a little bit weird, especially with this online format and some of the challenges that come along with it. So I think that as long as there's a conversation, we'll all be fine. If you have any other questions, like I said, just send me an email and we'll get things going. But nice to meet you guys. Not in the typical way, but at least it's something. Bye.